Thank you. And Commissioner Sorge, could you lead us in the prayer and the pledge?
Thank you, Madam Chair, fellow commissioners. Almighty God, we implore you, look upon us and guide us this night as we make decisions which will greatly affect our community of Butte-Silver. Direct our thoughts, words, and deeds so that we please you and best serve our fellow citizens.
Amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, John. At this time, I would ask for approval of the minutes from February 16th meeting.
Thank you, Madam Chair. At this time, I move to approve the minutes from the February 16th, 2022 regular meeting.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes of February 16th, 2020 meeting minutes. Is there anything on the question? Would everyone please vote? Would anyone care to change their vote? Would the clerk please record the vote?
Are you not voting?
I'm sorry?
Are you not voting?
No, I'm,
Okay.
Colleen, I think you were right, actually. So, no, I'm not, I only vote if there's a tie.
11
Pretend
yeas,
I'm
0
JP.
nay.
Thank you. Items not addressed on the agenda. We do have an item that we are adding into our agenda. It'll appear after we do our consent agenda. And, but at this time, I call on Commissioner Frederickson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. In accordance with the provisions of Section 6 of Rule 6 of the Rules of Business of the Council of Commissioners of the City and County of Butte-Silver, State of Montana, the Council hereby finds that an emergency condition exists which requires that the Council rules be suspended to allow Communication 2022-108 to be added to the agenda of the March 2nd, 2022 regular meeting of Council. The reason for this suspension is as follows. Communication number 2022-108 is a communication from Clerk and Recorder Linda Sager-Joyce advising the governing body that the special purpose elections for Melrose Water Sewer District and Volunteer Fire Department's trustee positions were canceled, and the candidates were elected by acclamation. This communication was not submitted by the deadline for the March 2nd, 2022 meeting because the closing period for write-in candidates was not until 5:00 p.m. on February 28th, 2022. After the February 25th, 2022 deadline, according Mrs. Sager-Joyce is requesting this matter be added to the March 2nd, 2022 regular meeting council agenda. Based upon the foregoing and to allow this matter to be acted upon, the council hereby finds that an emergency exists which requires the suspension of the council's rules to add communication number 2022-108 to the agenda for the March 2nd, 2022 regular meeting. I move to approve the suspension of the rules to consider placing communication number 2022-108 on the agenda at the March 2nd, 2022 regular meeting.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the suspension of the rules to add Communication 2022-108 on tonight's agenda. Is there anything on the question? Would everyone please vote? Would anyone care to change their vote? Would the clerk please record the vote?
11 yeas, 0 nay.
Motion passes. And that will appear at the end after we do our consent agenda, and we will proceed to hopefully approve it. So that brings us to the Chief Executive's report. Well, I'm not Chief Executive, but I do want to say one thing, and I am not trying to get involved in politics or anything, but I just want to say that everyone needs to pray really, really hard for Ukraine. And I've decided I'm wearing this little blue and yellow necklace until they are free. So just remember that our freedom does not come without a price, and these folks are valiantly protecting their country, and it just it doesn't look very good. That's just the bad side of it. So anyway, I thank you all for doing that, and our freedom is precious. That's all I had to say about any kind of public comment. Section 1, we're going right into our bid openings, public hearings, or presentations. We do have a public hearing. This is item 1, communication number 2022-72, Mike Clegg, Deputy County Attorney, requesting Council of Commissioners authorization for a public hearing on March 2nd, 2022 to amend, what did I do? Do we have proof of publication? I'm sorry? Gosh, I am so sorry. Even have an asterisk on it. All right, no excuse for me. Any public comment on any items on tonight's agenda? After all these years, I can't believe I forgot that, but oh well. 50 lashes with a wet noodle. Anybody out there care to comment on anything on tonight's agenda? So, seeing none, I will proceed. Thank you, Eileen. Section 1, bid openings, public hearings, and/or presentations. The caption here is Communication 2022-72, Mike Clegg, Deputy County Attorney, requesting Council of Commissioners authorization for a public hearing on March 2nd, 2022 to amend the fiscal year 21-22 budget to receive grant funds from the Montana Office of Court Administrator, OCA, for the purpose of accepting the grant award of $5,000. Do we have proof of publication?
Madam Chair, we do have proof of publication, and it does appear to be in order.
Thank you. Okay, do we have somebody here? I see Mike out in the audience. Would you care to give us a staff report?
Madam Chairman, council members, what we're asking for today is to allow the budget to be amended so we can accept, we've already accepted, but start receiving the award of this grant. The grant is from $5,000 as stated. It's for the Butte-Silver Veterans Treatment Court, and it's to be used for incentive program for that program. There's no match required or any contribution from the county. All we need is a fund or a place to put that money and then start distributing it.
Okay, thank you, Mike. Any questions from council members for Mr. Clegg? All right, seeing none, thank you, Mike. Okay, I will open the public hearing. At this point in time, I would ask for any proponents for this particular public hearing. Any proponents? Anyone care to speak in favor of it can come to our podium up here. Second call for proponents. Third and final call for proponents. Okay, at this time I would call for any opponents, anyone that would be not in favor of this action. Second call for opponents. Third and final call for opponents. Seeing none, I close the public hearing. Okay, moving on to section 2. This is our consent agenda. A, 1 through 4, that's committee reports. And B, 1 through 26, I believe. Yeah, 26. Are there any friendly amendments or segregations? Commissioner Sorch and then Commissioner Fisher.
I'd like to segregate number 1, please. Communication number 2022-81.
Number 1, okay. And any other, Commissioner Fisher, did you have a segregation?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to segregate Communication 26, 2022-107. Thank you.
And that is item number? 26. Okay, 26, thank you. Okay, any other segregations? Commissioner Sorich.
Thank you, Madam Chair. You know, it's a friendly amendment on number 21 that should probably read Kristen Rose instead of Kristen Rose on the agenda.
I'm sorry?
On number 21, that should probably read Kristen Rosa versus Kristen Rose on the agenda.
Okay. Thank you for that friendly amendment. We will make sure that's corrected. Commissioner
I'm
Anderson.
good. I'm good.
Yes, Commissioner Frederickson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to segregate 20, communication number 2022-101.
101, okay, gotcha. Anything else? Okay, seeing none, Commissioner Frederickson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move to approve Section 2 of the consent agenda, A, 1 through 4, and B, 1 through 26, with the exceptions of 1, communication number 2022-81, communication 2022-101, communication 2022-107.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve Section 2, consent agenda A1 through 4 and B1 through 26 with the 3 segregations, item 1, item 20, and item 26. Anything on the question? Would everyone please vote? Anyone care to change your vote? Would the clerk please record the vote?
11 yeas, 0 nay.
Motion passes. Okay, starting with item 1, this is communication number 2022-81 at Vanderab 2601 Grand Avenue, requesting council commissioners to have chief executive to send a letter to the USA National Congressional Delegation from Montana, requesting the Montana National Congressional Delegation to send a letter to the National AmeriCorps Agency, requesting that AmeriCorps consider including the AmeriCorps program, A Harmony in Our Communities Across American Component. Commissioner Sorich.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Fellow Commissioners, the reason I segregated this was just tonight, I just want to say that I do believe that in what Ed's trying to do. You know, I believe that he is absolutely right in saying there is too much hatred, there is too much separation. You know, and so I'm really glad that he came forward. I'm not 100% sure what this will do, but I think it's worth a try, and I'm glad that he brought it forward to us tonight. We haven't heard from Ed in a while, but Ed, thank you for bringing this forward to us tonight, and I appreciate it. Saying that, I will stick with the original motion, refer to the chief executive.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to refer communication 2022-81 to the chief executive. Chief Executive Gallagher, is there anything on the question? Everyone please vote. Would anyone care to change their vote? Would the clerk please record the vote?
11 yeas, 0 nay.
Thank you. Motion passes. On to item 20. This is communication number 2022-101. Dylan Pipinich, Planning Director, requesting Council Commissioners concur with the use of the remaining Woodville Hill abandonment funds on the Mercury Street Improvements Project and sign the concurrence letter for MDT. And I believe, was that Mr. Fisher?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Sean.
I would just had a couple questions for Director Pipinich, real quick ones.
Director Pipinich.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Commissioner Frederickson.
Thanks, Director. So this Woodville Hill Abandonment Funds is the first that I've seen, so I wonder if you could tell us, because it says the remaining funds, and
Yeah,
this is
so-
the first that I've seen that fund on council, so.
Mr. Pipinich.
Madam Chair, Commissioner Frederickson, it's a fund that we've had for a long time. It was an agreement, a settlement with Atlantic Richfield Company when they abandoned the Woodville Hill Road, and it was a fund set aside in an escrow through MDT for us to use for transportation projects throughout the town. I think it was like 1.8 million or something like that. We have $52,000 left. We've had it for about 40 years. We have a project coming up this summer that is eligible to use it. So the idea is that we use that $52,000 and close out that account finally.
And just a follow-up.
Follow-up, Commissioner Pipinich.
Thank you. And so I take it these funds have been used for projects similar to this Mercury Street project in the past, right?
Mr. Pipinich.
Madam Chair, Commissioner Frederickson, yeah, there was a range of things. One of the things is the project has to be identified in our transportation plan. We have a 2016 is our newest transportation plan. So we kind of wait for one of those projects to come around and use the funds. I think they've been used to help and create the transportation plan. You can help use them for engineering and for project funds, but it's down to the point where, you know, $52,000 isn't really a standalone project anymore, and we got the Mercury Street project coming up, so it just makes some sense.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
Would you like to make a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to concur and place this on file.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to place communication 2022-101 on file, concur and place on file. Is there anything on the question? Anyone please vote? Anyone care to change their vote? Would the clerk please record the vote?
11 yeas, 0 nay.
Motion passes. On to our last item. This is item 26, communication number 2022-107, Mike Sheehy, 423 South Colorado Street, Butte, Montana, requesting council commissioners to please consider moving the annual fireworks extravaganza away from the dangers of wildfire and to the Bell Diamond Mine. Commissioner Fisher.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Segregation for this is, I firmly believe that we shouldn't be trying to fix things that aren't broken. Definitely the fireworks extravaganza on the M has been going on for years. Town Pump has generally donated the money to put that on, and I think it's a great place for it. I don't think there's any need to move it. And with the discussions I've had today with people, even after this was only in the newspaper a day or so ago, overwhelmingly, more than any event that I've ever had dealt with in the years I've been on here, state that they don't want it moved. So I'm going to open up communications to it, and when we're done, I'm going to make a motion to deny. So if any commissioner has anything to say, they're welcome to weigh in, and I will make my motion at the end of the conversation. Thank you.
Commissioner Reardon.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I was wondering if Mr. Sheehy could come up to the microphone, please. I have a couple of questions for him.
Let me turn that on. There you go. Oh, it should turn red. Here.
Is it on now? Yeah, there it is. It's red.
Mr. Sheehy.
All right.
All right. Thank you, Mike. I, too, had a large amount of phone calls and conversations with people throughout the community. I know I visited with you about this project or your proposal a while back and all that, and I know that there's some people out there that are considering it. But all in all, from what I've heard throughout the community and all that, is the same recognition that the people are given is that they feel that it shouldn't be fixed either. I think that, you know, ideas are good and everything like that, but it's just how should I say, a tradition in Butte. And I guess my first question is in assuming this and all that, I think the biggest thing that we overlooked here, and Commissioner Fisher recognized it, did you have any communication with the Kennellys before you guys got out of there, got out and started getting?
Well,
Mr. Sheehy?
Excuse me, yeah. I assumed, and we had some conversations, not with the top level, but with a couple of people, and they thought wherever the fireworks were, they'd support.
That was their reply to?
Yeah, that's what-
okay.
Yeah.
All right. That was another big thing that people I talked to were more or less concerned about Town Pump maybe pulling their funding and all that with the change that might occur if this went, happened and all that. So I have to agree with Commissioner Fisher, and I thank you for your effort. You are a trooper of Butte, Montana, and have been for a while, and I appreciate your hard work on this deal and all that, but I think the overwhelming decision is, hasn't really been made, but all the people that I talked to was pretty much against this proposal. So thank you for being here.
Well, and I hope we never have a problem. I'm kind of a nervous Nelly about everything. I grew up Irish, Catholic, and drunk, so you worry all the time about things. But really, I want everyone to remember, there's been a lot of fires up there, and the forest is growing, and the grass is knee high. So I'm not, I think I'd like to sit with the Kennellys, so I'll be back with something else, and hopefully I can bring Tommy with me, because I didn't talk directly to him, but I kind of got the word that wherever it was, they just love Butte, so I don't know. And really go look at the Bell Diamond. It's, we should celebrate workers, because there's only a few of us left, so. All right, man. God love all of you.
Thank you, Mike. Any other questions for Mike Sheehy, the person that is asking for this? Commissioner Anderson. Might as well stay up
Thank
there,
you
Mike.
very much, Chairwoman Shaw. Thanks for bringing this to our attention, Mike. Taking over your seat, I always like to hear your opinion on everything. And one of the things, everyone I talked to also today Granted, it hasn't been very many. I saw about 5 or 6 people, and a couple of them, "You're the commissioner guy, right?" It's like, "Yeah," and it's like, "You better not vote for that firework thing." And it's like, "Oh, goody." I'm gonna get it from Mike or from you, I don't know which is worse. But I like you bringing it to the attention, and what I think about when I was reading it was watching the fire last year. There was a good portion of that hill that was bright orange last year, and there is a lot more vegetation on that hill than there has been in years past. And so I think it is something that we should definitely be looking at. And before we rush to any kind of judgment on this, I think the best thing to do would be to get concrete answers from the Kennellys that'd be all right with the funding, because I'd definitely like to hear from that group. And I'd definitely like to hear from the fire department, the volunteers and the professionals, to see what they have. So for that matter, I'm going to make a preemptive strike on Commissioner Fisher's making a motion to dismiss this, and I just want to thank Mike again. I guess no real question there, but I imagine that's what you'd like to see done, is have some kind of discussion and bring this forward with Town Pump and the fire. And with that, then, I'd like to make a motion to go along with the original recommendation of this and refer it to the committee of the whole.
We have a motion and a second to refer communication 2022-107 to the committee of the whole as originally referred to. Anything further on the question? Commissioner Fisher?
Thank you, Chairman Shaw. At this time, I would like to make a substitute motion that we deny communication 2022-107 on the grounds that we can kick this down the road like we did the fireworks, other thing we had for 3 or 4, 6 months. It'll be 4th of July. I'm not into doing that. Refer it to committee of the whole, then you want to get the fire department in, then you want to get the Kennellys involved. Next thing you know, somebody's going to get upset. Kennelly's going to pull their funding. The fire department, we have plenty of fire rigs in town. I mean, there's no need to kick this thing around. The public has spoken. And you know what they're telling us? Do your job, commissioners. Deny that communication. So do your job, commissioners, and deny that communication, and let's further down the road, if they want to assess something, do it. But it's no time right now to start taking on this after we just went through the other fireworks discussion for like 6 months. So I wish my motion passes to deny communication 2022-107. Thank you.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay. We have a motion and a second to deny communication 2022-107. Is there anything further on the question? This is a substitute motion. Okay, would everyone please vote? Would anyone care to change their vote? Would the clerk please record the vote?
10 yea, 1 nay.
Motion passes. Thank you, Mike, for bringing this to our attention. Thank you. Thanks, Mike. Yeah.
I'll be back with something else.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks,
And
Mike.
thank your group for, putting this before us. All right, so at this time, we have a public comment. Oh, no, wait, we need to go to the item that we added in, so we're now back to communication 2022-108. Commissioner Frederickson. Would you read the caption?
Sorry, Madam Chair, I am ready to, at this point, I'll make a motion to concur and place on file communication number 2022-108.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to concur with communication 2022-108 and place this on file. Anything on the question? Would everyone please vote? And would anyone care to change your vote? Would the clerk please record the vote?
11 yea, 0 nay.
Motion passes. All right. public comment on any matter not on tonight's agenda. Would anyone like to speak on anything that's not on the agenda? Anything goes, just come on up. Okay, I don't see anybody. Last call for that. And we're moving on to Section 3, Ordinances and Resolutions introduced to Judiciary. Please take note of Resolution number 2022-12. That'll become permanently on our agenda after this. And move to Judiciary. Moving on to Section 4, Ordinances and Resolutions suspension of the rules for final passage. Commissioner Frederickson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move for the suspension of the rules for the purpose of passing Resolution number 2022-13, Resolution number 2022-14, Resolution number 2022-15, by waiving subsection 7 of Rule 36
Your Roman numerals, now come
of the
on.
Rules and Order of Business
Not
of the
Catholic.
Council of Commissioners, thereby having it considered for an advanced passage without preference to the Judiciary Committee.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to suspend the rules to add in ordinance resolutions 2022-13, 14, and 15. Is there anything on the question? Would everyone please vote? Would anyone care to change their vote? Would the clerk please record the vote?
11 yea and 0 nay.
Motion passes. Beginning with resolution number 2022-13, would the clerk please read the title?
Resolution number 2022-13, a resolution to present to the qualified electors of the city and county of Butte-Silver, Montana, the question of whether to impose a 3% local option excise tax on the retail value of all non-medical marijuana and all non-medical marijuana products sold in the city county of Butte-Silver, and the separate question of whether to impose a 3% local option excise tax on the retail value of all medical marijuana and all medical marijuana products sold in the city county of Butte-Silver, and providing for an effective date herein.
Thank you, Commissioner Frederickson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move to place resolution number 2022-13 on final reading and passed, having been deemed fully read at length.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to pass resolution 2022-13 on final reading. Would everyone please vote? Would anyone care to change their vote? Would the clerk please record the vote?
11 yea and 0 nay.
Motion passes. Item 2, resolution number 2022-14. Would the clerk please read the title?
A resolution number 2022-14, a resolution to present to the qualified electors of the city county of Butte-Silver, Montana, the question of whether to impose on a continuous basis 1 mill levy to be adjusted annually to raise approximately $75,000 for the search and rescue operations beginning in the fiscal year 2023 and providing for an effective date herein.
Commissioner Frederickson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move to place resolution number 2022-14 on final reading and passed, having been deemed fully read at length.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to pass resolution number 2022-14 on final reading. Is there anything on the question? Would everyone please vote? Would the clerk, would anyone care to change their vote? Would the clerk please record the vote?
11 yea and 0 nay.
Motion passes. Congratulations. Okay, item 3, resolution number 2022-15. Would the clerk please read the title?
Resolution number 2022-15, a resolution amending the budget during the fiscal year after conducting a public hearing at a regularly scheduled meeting of the Council of Commissioners in accordance with Section 7-6-4006 MCA, appropriating unanticipated revenue from the State of Montana Board of Crime Control for the purpose of maintaining the residential substance abuse treatment program at the Butte-Silver Detention Center and providing for an effective date herein.
Commissioner Frederickson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move to place resolution number 2022-15 on final reading and passed, having been deemed fully read at length.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to pass resolution number 2022-15 on final reading. Is there anything on the question? Would everyone please vote? Would the clerk, anyone care to change their vote? And would the clerk please record the vote?
11 yea and 0 nay.
Motion passes. Okay, and moving on to calendar of other meetings and events, please take note on everything that's going on in the next couple weeks in March. And is there anything else to come before us at this meeting? I don't think I see anybody, so I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion, a second to adjourn. When all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you, everyone.